The Champions League is back. The tournament that disappoints every team except the winner. Honestly, when your team is in this competition, it never ends well. Even when it's going well, it never ends well. Anyway, I'm here to correctly predict this massive Super League of a competition. Oh my days. We actually have 36 teams nowadays. Let's dive into it. In bottom place will be Kairat Almaty. Let me be honest, I've never heard of this team in my life. I can't name a single player in this squad to save my life. Apparently, this club is from Kazakhstan and are playing in the Champions League for the first time. This club is so far away from the rest of Europe that it's easier to go to China from Almaty than it is to go to their capital Astana. This team will be so exhausted from traveling alone. They will have to travel to Milan, London, Lisbon, and Copenhagen. For some reason, all the away games are in Western Europe. I'm sorry, but you guys will not win any of these games. Even the easy match against Pafos at home, you'll still lose. 0 points and out. At position 35 will be Karabag. This Azerbaijan club has been in the Champions League severally, but I just don't see them doing much. They will get a draw against Frankfurt and lose every game. 1 point and out. At position 34 will be Bodo Glimt. Technically, this team is also playing in the Champions League for the first time. They were great in the Europa League last season. They somehow managed to reach the semi-finals. But again, I'm not even surprised. You had Spurs and Man United in the final. The only problem this season is that they have fixtures from hell. They'll play Spurs, Galatasaray, Monaco, Juventus, Dortmund, Man City, and Atletico. I'm sorry, Bodo Glimt, but I don't see you getting more than 1 point. At position 33 will be Union SG. Here is another small club from Belgium. I like seeing small and known clubs rise from the grassroots. I really love the underdogs, but I've also watched enough football to know that most of these stories end the same way for these small clubs in the Champions League. Union Saint-Gilloise might be decent, but 2 points and out. At position 32 will be Pafos. Honestly, I'd never heard of this club until I saw them in the Conference League last season. I also somehow made a reference to this club in a video I made, and I don't even know why. In case you don't know this club, it was created 2 days before the start of the 2014 World Cup. Oh my days. This club was non-existent when Steven Gerrard stepped on a banana peel against Chelsea, and somehow I'm predicting that they'll finish this high in the table. Let me land. They have difficult fixtures, yes, but they also get to play Kairat Almaty, which will be an easy win for them. Anyway, they'll only get 4 points and out. At position 31 will be Club Brugge. This Belgian club is a regular in the Champions League, but I just don't see you guys doing anything this season. You guys are having to play the likes of Barca, Bayern, Arsenal, and Marseille. 4 points and out. At position 30 will be Eintracht Frankfurt. I know that Frankfurt fans will hate me for this one. You guys low-key have a very difficult fixture. I think you'll surprisingly beat Tottenham and get draws against Atalanta, Galatasaray, and Karabag. 6 points and out. At position 29 will be Copenhagen. They said that this Champions League format will be fair to the small clubs, but so far, the small clubs are doing all the lifting. Same case here for Copenhagen. Very difficult fixtures. I only see you beating Kairat Almaty and Karabag. 6 points and out for my Danish Kings. At position 28 will be Atalanta. Atalanta have a decent fixture, but I think these guys will just be out of their depth this season. They will be what Leipzig was last season in the Champions League. Above everything else, you lost your long-term manager Gianpiero Gasperini and replaced him with Ivan Juric. You know, the guy that relegated Southampton last season with 7 games to go. I'm sorry Atalanta, but 6 points at most and out of the tournament. At position 27 will be Olympiacos. Olympiacos will be a decent team and they will actually put up a fight in their matches. Lucky for them, they also get to play the likes of Pafos and Kairat Almaty. I bet they'll get 7 points by beating PSV, Kairat Almaty, and get a draw against Pafos. At position 26 will be Benfica. I'm sorry Benfica fans, but you guys don't have easy matches. You've also lost some very important players. You lost Di Maria, Alvaro Carreras, and Karim Atkoglu. You've brought in a talented winger in Dodi Lukebakio, but that's all. I think most of the games that you lose will be very close, but that's it. You'll beat Leverkusen and Karabag, get draws against Ajax and Newcastle, and you lose every other game. 8 points and out. At position 25 will be Leverkusen. Everything that could go wrong at Leverkusen is going wrong. For starters, you've sold almost every player in that invincible team of 2024. You then lost your managerial genius in Xabi Alonso and proceeded to replace him with Erik ten Hag. Oh my days. That alone should have told you guys that you'll have a very long season. 2 games into the season, you've realized that ten Hag has all the ability of a broken chair and you've sacked him. Honestly, this is so sad for ten Hag. Getting sacked after 2 league games is just cruel. I thought Crystal Palace did Frank de Boer bad after they sacked him after 4 league games, but Leverkusen have stepped into Lucifer's levels. 2 games! 2 games! Leverkusen will not do much in the Champions League. Even when they win, it won't be convincing. 8 points and out. At position 24 will be Slavia Prague. I know you're wondering why I'm tipping a club from the Czech Republic to qualify for the playoff. These guys have a decent fixture. They will beat Pafos and Bodo Glimt, then get draws against Atalanta and Athletic Bilbao. They will just about get into the playoffs ahead of Leverkusen on goal difference. At position 23 will be Ajax. Ajax don't really have a special team this season. All the same, they will only lose to Inter and Chelsea. They'll beat Villarreal, Karabag and Olympiacos. They'll then get draws against Benfica, Marseille and Galatasaray. 10 points for the Weed Smokers. At position 22 will be their Dutch counterparts PSV. They'll have an almost identical run to Ajax, but they'll score more goals. They'll beat Atletico, Leverkusen and Union SG. They'll get a draw from Napoli but lose every other game. 10 points for PSV. At position 21 will be Inter Milan. After getting absolutely destroyed in the final last season, Inter will be stinking up the place this season. They will not beat any big club. They'll beat Slavia Prague, Ajax and Kairat Almaty. They'll get draws from Atletico and Union SG and lose games against Liverpool, Dortmund and Arsenal. 11 points for these Milan frauds. At position 20 will be Villarreal. Villarreal have a decent squad that can put up a fight in the Champions League. They also have some fairly decent fixtures. They'll beat Spurs, Copenhagen and Pafos. They'll get draws against Juventus and Leverkusen, then lose to City and Dortmund. 11 points for Villarreal for letting us watch them in their away kits.
Then again, miracles do happen, right, Doc?
At position 19 will be Sporting, with the kind of fixtures that Sporting have. If it was last season, they will have easily made it to the top 10. But this season, they don't have their bagsman and their super manager. They'll beat Club Brugge, Napoli and Kairat Almaty. They'll get draws against Bayern and Marseille, then lose to PSG and Bilbao. 11 points. At position 18 will be Monaco. Monaco have been building a very good squad. They also had a good team last season, but it was not competitive enough. This season, they have added Paul Pogba and Ansu Fati. If these two can work out, then Monaco will have a very good season. They'll beat Juventus, Bodo Glimt and Pafos. They'll get draws against Club Brugge, Spurs and Galatasaray. 12 points for this wealthy country. At position 17 will be Atletico Madrid. Atletico are going to be a huge bag of trash this season. The only hope they have is Julian Alvarez, and I think he'll bail them a lot this season. They'll be very unconvincing in most games. They'll beat Frankfurt, Bodo Glimt and Union SG. They'll get draws against Inter, Liverpool and Arsenal, but lose to PSV and Galatasaray. Honestly, don't invest in Atletico this season. At position 16 will be Athletic Bilbao. They'll have a decent season and put up a fight in some of their games. They'll beat Atalanta, Sporting and Karabag. They'll get draws against Newcastle, Slavia Prague and Dortmund, but they'll lose to PSG and Arsenal. 12 points for Bilbao. At position 15 will be Marseille. I did a video where I talked about Marseille being a team to watch out for this season. Make sure you check out that video, by the way. Marseille will really put up a fight. They'll beat Atalanta, Club Brugge and Union SG. They'll get draws from Real Madrid, Ajax and Sporting, then lose to Newcastle and Liverpool. 12 points for this rehabilitation center. At position 14 will be Newcastle United. I'm sure that Newcastle fans are yet to recover from Isaac's betrayal. I don't think that they'll ever recover. Anyway, they'll beat PSV, Marseille and Union SG. They'll get draws from Barca, Benfica, Leverkusen and Bilbao. They will definitely lose to PSG. 13 points for the Crying Geordies. At position 13 will be Galatasaray. This club has a very good squad. For Christ's sake, they got to sign Victor Osimhen without competition. They also somehow managed to get Gundogan. Galatasaray will beat Man City, Atletico and Union SG. They will draw against Liverpool, Frankfurt, Bodo Glimt, Ajax and Monaco. Basically, these guys will go unbeaten in the league phase. 13 points for these Turkish monsters. At position 12 will be Tottenham. Spurs have been moving crazy in the transfer market. I still can't believe that they have Xavi Simons and Mohamed Kudus in the same team. They'll beat Dortmund, Slavia Prague, Bodo Glimt and Copenhagen. They'll draw PSG and Monaco but lose to Villarreal and Frankfurt.
But Tottenham is the history of the Tottenham.
14 points for the Spurs. At position 11 will be Dortmund. They'll beat Inter, Villarreal, Bodo Glimt and Copenhagen. They'll lose to Man City and Spurs, then draw Juventus and Athletic Bilbao. 14 points for BVB. At position 10 will be Arsenal. I can already hear Arsenal fans starting to lose it. Yes, Arsenal will not finish in the top 8. And it's not because Arsenal will be pure dog shit in the league phase, but because I think big clubs will turn it up this season, unlike last season. Arsenal will actually have a very good league phase. They'll beat Inter, Club Brugge, Slavia Prague, Kairat Almaty and Athletic Bilbao. They'll draw Atletico and lose to their kryptonite Bayern Munich. 16 points for the Gunners. At position 9 will be Chelsea. Their season will be almost similar to Arsenal. They'll beat Benfica, Atalanta, Ajax, Pafos and Karabakh. They'll draw Bayern Munich, then lose to Napoli and Barcelona. 16 points for the billion-dollar bottle jobs. Now let's get into the top 8. Before we continue, make sure you like the video and subscribe. I promise you that for anybody that subscribes, their team will win the Champions League this season.
Really, nigga?
At position 8 will be Napoli. Putting Napoli in the top 8 sounds like a risk for me because I just don't trust Napoli in the Champions League. These guys always look for a way to bottle it in the UCL. I also don't trust Antonio Conte too in the UCL, but these guys might have the best team in Italy. They'll beat Chelsea, Frankfurt, Benfica, Copenhagen and Karabakh. They'll draw City and PSV and lose to Sporting. 17 points for the Pizza Boys. At position 7 will be Juventus. And I know what you are thinking.
Is this nigga serious?
In my video of the teams to watch out for, I included Juventus. Go and watch the video to know why. Juventus will beat Real Madrid, Benfica, Sporting, Bodo Glimt and Pafos. They'll draw Dortmund and Villarreal, then lose to Monaco. 17 points for the old lady. At position 6 will be Man City. They won't be really convincing and will have some scrappy wins. They'll beat Dortmund, Leverkusen, Villarreal, Bodo Glimt and Monaco. They'll draw Real Madrid and Napoli, then lose to Galatasaray. 17 points for the noisy neighbors. At position 5 will be Real Madrid. Come on, it's Real Madrid. They'll beat Liverpool, Benfica, Olympiacos, Monaco and Kairat Almaty. They'll draw Marseille and City and lose to Juventus. 17 points for these Madrid frauds. At position 4 will be Liverpool. I know most people are predicting Liverpool to top the league, but I think teams will come to play Liverpool and give all their best since they already know that Liverpool has the best squad. Liverpool will beat Inter, Frankfurt, Marseille, Karabakh and PSV. They'll draw Atletico and Galatasaray, then get their annual loss against Real Madrid. 17 points for the Scousers. At position 3 will be PSG. The reigning champions have been given some difficult fixtures, but let's be honest. Of all of these teams, none of them can reach the levels that PSG are in right now. They'll beat Atalanta, Leverkusen, Sporting, Athletic Bilbao and Newcastle. They'll draw Bayern, Barca and Spurs, which will make them unbeaten in the league. 18 points for the Parisian Farmers. At position 2 will be Bayern. Come on, it's Bayern Munich. They'll beat Arsenal, Club Brugge, PSV, Union SG and Pafos. They'll draw Sporting, Chelsea and PSG, which will also make them unbeaten in the league. 18 points for the German Farmers. Top of the league will be my glorious club Barcelona. Let's be honest, Barca have a very easy draw and I'm not even complaining. I love it just the way it is. They will win all their games except for draws against PSG and Newcastle. And yes, they will also be unbeaten. 20 points for the best club in the world. Those are my predictions for the UCL League phase. Tell me what you think about them and also give me your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and share, and I'll see you in the next one.